Welcome to Identity Unboxed, where we provide mentorship and promote representation for Black professionals in the advancement of the Black community.
We are seeking guidance from exceptional Black leaders, scholars, and professionals with expertise in their respective fields.
We hope to foster a space that promotes authenticity, inclusivity, and restoration for our listeners while exploring the intersection of our personal and professional lives.
This project is a culmination of our lived experiences as young Black professionals to transform our life trajectories, to overcome adversity and reach triumph.
Our intention is to inspire you on your path to discovering your purpose. All right. Well, Samuel, we are so excited to talk to you about your experience as a Division I athlete. You are forward on the University of Washington basketball team, and we are just really looking forward to talking about how you've navigated Division I athletics and also found your identity as an immigrant as well. So one of our first questions for you is, before committing to the University of Washington basketball program in 2021, you attended the NBA Academy Africa Center, an elite basketball training center in Senegal for the top male and female prospects throughout Africa and the first of its kind on the continent. Can you describe the moment you felt influenced to pursue basketball at the Division I level away from your home country of Nigeria?
Thank you very much for that question. That's really taking me back. Initially, like it was around 2018. December, I remember it. 2018, I was just close to quitting basketball. I told my mom and my sisters, called it like, hey, I think I'm done with basketball because just I've tried so many things, friends, traveled, all that, and it just felt like it was just me back home. And I told my mom, like, tomorrow morning I'm coming back, and like I'm just gonna drop basketball and just try to go to school and get some jobs and try to help them out in whatever way I can. And the night before the day I was about to leave, I got a call from my coach, Ariyibi. He played for the Seattle Supersonics back in the time, and also was the captain for the Nigerian national team for a couple of years. And he called me. He was like, "Hey, what's up? Like, how you doing?" And we just started talking. And he was like, "What's your basketball career?" I was like, "I'm about to stop playing basketball." And he told me one thing. He said, "Do you trust me?" I was like, "What do you mean, do I trust? I'm already done with basketball. Like, I don't want to play basketball anymore." And he was like, "Do you trust me?" I was like, "For what? Can you come by my place tomorrow and we're just going to talk about it and join my team and play?" And I was like, "Okay, at least I'll just give it one more try and see what happens." And not knowing, for me, I was going there and not knowing I was going to see Amadou Gallo, one of the top basketball, this BAL, Basketball Africa League going on right now. He's the vice president for like the BL and also the president for like the NBA Academy that I was in Senegal. And I met him over there and he saw me practicing and everything. And he was like, "Would you like to come to Senegal and play?" And I was like, "Senegal? Like, my friends are going to the United States. Why don't I go to Senegal?" And he was like, "Oh, it's the NBA Academy. It's one of its kind." And I was like, I told my mom. My mom was like, "What do you do?" Say yes. And I was like, okay. And if I tell you, since then, my life has changed since then, like in basketball-wise. Traveled so many places, went into the NBA Academy. You know, when you're traveling, you're always going to think, oh, like, you're doing everything. But I got there and I was like, oh, I still got to work. I still got to maintain my position at it because it's not fully guaranteed if you just come in and just relax and everything. So I had to work my way up the ranks and everything. And there was a tournament I went for, Match Madness 2019. I wouldn't forget that. It was against, I think Virginia and West Virginia and one other team were playing. And the crowd was enormous. I'm telling you, like, I was seeing the crowd go nuts, and everybody was just like really happy. And I was sitting out way up in the stands, about like 400, 400, like it was so up in the stands. And I was just looking down, and I was seeing people cheering for them and everything. And I just wanted to have that experience too, like playing college basketball with that kind of caliber, like playing in March Madness or just playing for a school where you have people coming watch you game, people, you know, change your names and be like, "Come on, you got these." It's like going down the stretch, you know, 5 seconds to go, you're down one, you gotta make a free throw, you gotta make a 3-2 in the game. So it was just true that I was going through my body, and I decided to be like, I want to go play college basketball. And Division One athlete, especially top Power Five conference.
That's so great. Thank you so much for giving us so much detail. And I was hoping to ask you, could you like walk us through what a day-to-day life looked at when you were at the NBA Academy? Senegal is pretty far from Lagos, right?
Yeah, it is. It is far from Lagos because it's like a 6 hour flight. But drive,
Oh, wow.
I don't know how long the drive is. Probably like a day if you decide to drive. I don't think it's ideal.
Yeah.
So it's like a 6 hour flight from Lagos down to Senegal, and I was surprised because it was like it's afraid now it's an ECOWAS country, but day to day life. First, when I first got there, it was kind of like normal. I worked my way up to the ranks, so I was basically we wake up at like 5:30 in the morning. We go like 5:30 because there were like two categories of like kids out there. Some of us were English speaking students. We do like Apex online. Apex online. It's kind of like an American based kind of high school study. But those were like we don't really speak English that well. The francophone guys, so they had to go to actual classes for that to like go study like English. So they had to leave the campus where we're staying because we do online studies. So we basically don't go out the campus. We're still in the campus doing what we gotta do. But they had to go outside the campus and go to school and stay in class and study with kids in class. So 5:30 we wake up in the morning. We have two groups. First, I'm always with second group because I'm always second group 6:30. I wake up 6:30 and we go to the field, do some track, walk on the field, some agility walk, and just like trying to wake our body up and everything. Coach Alex, he tried to kill us. But yeah, we do that in the morning, and after that we go after the agility walk on the field. Then we go to basketball court, work out with our Coach Joe Tumo and Coach Mr. Rollins and Coach Sharif. Work out with them. It's basically like a practice. Trust me. They call it workout, but it's practice. Like you actually practice it. So we do that in the morning, and after that we go lift weights, and after weight, then we go back to our rooms. We get back something like 8:30, and we have like 30 minutes to like shower, dress up, eat, and go to class at 9. Like our teachers in the class at 9 waiting. If you're late, like you get penalized for being late. And
Wow.
so yeah, and we had guys then that was waking us up. We had guys that were seniors that were waking us up. We had guys like some of them play out here now, just to play out here. Timothy Guefe, John Kenoye, Kurt Curry. We had other guys like still Efe, and like they were like the guys that wake us up at like 5:30. But when they left, it became down to me. Now I gotta wake up at 5 to wake up guys at 5:30, so they can all come out. And I gotta wait. Now I can't go back to sleep. Now I have to wake up my own set of group guys to like go together. So it was like that for like 2 years straight, waking up early every single day. The weekends are fun. The weekends are fun because Saturday we practice at 10, so it's kind of like easy. You can wake up later during the day and we play games. That's when we had like our most fun time. But yeah, that's pretty much like a day-to-day life, like in the American. It was fun, and it was kind of like all guys kind of stuff. So you know how that's gonna go. Like it's competition, taunting and thought. It's all love. Like we might fight in like 5 minutes, but right now we're fighting. If I tell you the next 2 seconds, you seen us playing games together. Like we're playing video games, and you're like, "Did you guys were just throwing hands right now?" Like, yeah, we're throwing hands, but that doesn't mean like we gotta keep throwing hands for like the entire day. We're tired. We gotta keep going. But yeah, and that's it. Yeah, that's just like about like the morning kind of part of the NBA. The evening part is kind of chill because it's only practice in the evening, and then you're done. Like you know, but yeah, it's really nice. Like it's really a place like I wouldn't trade for anything else again. I would still, if I'm given the opportunity to go to the United States to study high school, go to the NBA Academy. I'm sorry, I'm choosing NBA Academy again. I'm going to NBA Academy again. Like I know it's in Senegal. Like what's in Senegal? Yeah, I know it's in Senegal. Well, I'm going.
That's awesome. It sounds like you had a really good experience. One thing that we talked about, Crystal, in our episode is just how sports really teaches people, those good habits of drive, dedication, being on time, and things of that nature. So do you think like waking up early and having to stick to such a strict schedule, help teach you those things? And if so, do you think that is a valuable skill that you just gained in general from, playing sports at this level?
Yeah, it's a really good one. I feel like I started waking up early when I was like pretty much younger with my mom, because my mom, she goes to work really like pretty early, and I'm a mama's boy. I tell you that. So like anywhere my mom goes, I'm going. Like anywhere I go, she's going. Like we're always like 5 and 6 tied together, glued together. Too. So she always wake up like early, like 4. And usually I live far away. When I was in middle school, I live far away from my school. So literally I literally wake up like 4:30 in the morning, and I had to catch a bus, a less cheaper bus, at like 5. If I don't catch a less cheaper bus, I am paying so much to go to school. And that was before my dad got his car. So then I took it back for my mom. Usually always gets scared for me because she's like, I'm walking the street, like just street light, just like one street light in one place. Like I have to work in the dark early, going out down the road, going to the buses, and it's like you have no idea what's in the bus. Like it might be someone trying to there's oh, that's a student. Let's take him. So like cause there you have like people kidnapping kids and all kind of stuff. But for me, God just protected me, and it's like waking up early. So I've had that like stuff of waking up early. Sometimes I might be lazy, but it's been imbued in me just because I go to school that way before actually doing sport in that way. So I would say like that's been like something that I always do. And when it comes to like the time crunch on what to do, I learned that through like sport wise itself, because when I see my friends doing stuff, I take my time doing something like they're already ahead of me, then I decide to be like, I gotta work on my timing and then to making sure I do everything like, in place and everything. So I learned how to like be able to like plan out your time and be able to like, okay, I'm doing this for this time. I'm not joking around. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing that. That's it. No, in and out of it. I'm sticking to this and I'm doing this, trying to learn this. I learned that through sport, but waking up early and just being just an early birds, like it's just cool. Like I'm just being that kind of early. And like you'd be like, why you waking up this early? Sorry, like I don't
Comes naturally. That's a blessing, though. That is definitely a blessing because a lot of people, I know me, I've made the switch lately, but I am not a morning person, or I wasn't. But lately, I found the joy in it. So you had a little advantage there. You said I'm not new to this. I've been getting up early.
Yeah, that's so great. That will serve you well in the future too. And just being able to maintain such a rigorous schedule, and that's very impressive. And I'm sure it's helped you succeed at the UW. Definitely.
definitely.
Yeah, that leads really well into our next question because in 2021, you enrolled at UW, taking the leap to move over 8,000 miles away from Lagos to Seattle. And reflecting on your college transition, we want to know what were some of the challenges that you initially faced as you adjusted to life here in the United States? And what strategies have you implemented to overcome these challenges?
Well, that's a really good one. Well, I would say like initially I didn't want to come to University of Washington. Like I had like all the schools I wanted to go to, but I had I had a goal that my coach eliminated. Like I wanted to play in the Power Five conference, which I had no idea what the Power Five conference is. And I looked it up. Then back then it was SEC, Pac-12, Big Ten, Big East, and I think A10. They were like all Power Five conference. That's where most kids get like recognized to go to the league. Most of them. So I wanted to play one of those big leagues where I get. It was basically for the crowds and fans. When you have like 25,000 fans come watching your game or 75 come watching your game, you're like, damn, like you have this student watching me play. Like it was good, but yeah, transitioning down here wasn't easy because I moved like away from home, and I moved away from places that's close to home, West Africa. Moved all the way away from the inside, come to the West Coast. Still on the West Side. I mean, I guess I love the West Side that much, but I still moved. I moved down here. It was hard because I felt like I couldn't just go see my family if I wanted to. I mean, Senegal wasn't that close, but it still wasn't that far, and it was really hard at first. Like at first when I came here, it was kind of easy because I came to the United States. Then I mean, I've been traveling back and forth to the United States within the academy, but having to stay felt different because I stayed for like a week. I'm like, I'm done. I want to go back to Senegal. Like, because that's just how it is back in the academy. Like, we travel for a week, play a game, and we're back to Senegal. Like, I just want to go back to the sun. And when I came 2021 June, it was hot.
Yeah.
So hot. I can't forget. It was so hot. We had to open the entire doors and everything. And I was frequently calling my mom, and then it hit me with the time difference. Time
Oh
shift.
yeah.
That really hit me so hard because then I can't call my mom. With Senegal, it was like an hour ahead. So it's like if it's 7 p.m. in my place, it's like 8 p.m. in their place. I can still talk to my mom, but the time difference hit me so hard I couldn't talk to my mom. And then I had to navigate away from me being where I feel comfortable to where I don't feel comfortable and try to feel comfortable. Like not just the difference between me being just black, but me being an African, me just being like the different tone and speaking like my how I say something and how people don't understand what I'm saying. And I had to literally try to always slow down to like talk to people. Or if I say some things and I also have to like swallow like my, I would say just like my shaming, like them making fun of how I talk. They're like, I can get them saying it, but it's like they think I don't hear it. And they're like, damn, what's he saying? Can you understand what he's saying? And then I would just act like I didn't hear what they were saying. I would just like keep saying, like keep talking on the but like deep down, I'm like, damn. So this is how it is out here. This is America. Like this is what people buy back in my country trying to do so much to travel to, like sell the property or sell their house, like even betray friends and family just to travel and come down here and they go through this. And it was hard because it felt like I couldn't talk to anybody, and every time I walk around, like I couldn't see someone that looks just like me out here. And even though I find someone that looks just like me, it's like they don't want to have anything to do with me. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's happening out here? And seeing all that, I just have to create. I literally use basketball as a strategy for myself to create a space whereby I feel like, you know what? If no one is gonna try to communicate, trying to talk to me, then I'm gonna use basketball to create a space for myself. So I became good in basketball. I became like always practicing, always showing myself up in practice and doing stuff. And I think it was during Metro Booming 2021. I think 2021 Metro Booming when we had the Metro Booming stuff for like introducing basketball back. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna join the dunk contest to show myself. But they were like, oh, then when it come in like Samuel Ariyibi from Nigeria, people were like, oh, who's that kid? Blah blah blah. And I did a dunk, and then boom, my name started going. People was like, oh, so this kid's from Nigeria, blah blah blah. And I started getting people from other African countries started following me, started hitting me up, and like, hey, what's up, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, so wait, where were you guys at? Like I've been like I haven't seen you guys at all. And so yeah, things started changing from there, but it still didn't feel like home to me. Like still didn't feel like I had a place to call home because it's just more of like everyone around me, especially like being the only international kid that came in 2021. Everyone had a family in the United States. Like if you understand what I mean, like you can easily travel to your family like December period, spring break, and everything. But I couldn't do that because it takes me 2 years to go back home, and 2 years to come back. So I couldn't just travel back and travel down there, and it was more of like it was weird hard because I couldn't eat the food I like to eat, even though I couldn't find them or nothing. Then I had to like call friends and like, hey, do you know where I could get this stuff? So I had to really find places. A place called Banterville, it's down in Everett. I had to find. I mean, it's not a West African place, but it's like just this is an African place in general, right? And a company called CMA, they sell like African kind of stuff. I had to really like order from them and do stuff. So it wasn't really that easy to transition. Like it was the big part of it for me was just being able to face everything I read about discrimination and racism and just being able to like, I mean, I was prepared from the NBA Academy for that. So I would really thank the NBA Academy for that because the NBA Academy, we always have like programs talking to like big people in the United States about like, when you come down here, this is what you're going to face. Like it's not written in black and blue. Like it's actually written out in pen, not pen so they can cancel. It's pen, like it's permanent. You can't change it. And I thought it was a joke, like, nah, it's going to be awkward now. And when I came in, I was like, it was no joke. I mean, I was prepared, but I was like, no, it's not going to happen. But I was like, it's no joke. Like, people are going to make fun of you about you speak, about you dress, about your look. They're going to make fun of you just being African. Like, they're not going to call you by you being Nigerian. They're going to call you, oh, the African kid. Like, right. And that really sometimes I feel bad. I'm so mad about it sometimes, but it's like, there's nothing I can do to that. The only thing I can do is just educate them. That's if they want to listen to it. Some of them are like, nah, you're an African kid, it's cool. Or my African brother, blah, 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 blah. I just started doing kind of, they just start making all this kind of like, making it feel like and just asking me questions like, "Do you guys have Starbucks in Nigeria?" Like, I'm like, "No, we don't drink Starbucks. We drink actual coffee. We need the real cocoa." And they're like, "What you mean, like stuff? Like, we drink the real. What you guys are drinking is artificial. Ours is the real shit. We drink right from the source and stuff. That's why we like it." They're like, "Nah, you just kidding." They start asking me questions like, "Do you ride on cameras to go to school?" Like, it was just kind of funny. Like, and just because of my personality, I guess my mom really just my mom just like grind that into me. Just no matter what they do to you, do not get upset. Do not get upset. Just smile everything up. It's gonna be fine. Just smile it up and smile it up and that's just been something like if people say something, I'll just smile it up. But inside, I'm burning, like I'm raging. If I like, damn, like there's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could say because no matter what, I'm putting myself in the line of getting the body back on me if I say something bad or if I act a certain way. Like it's like boom, you're done back. So, so yeah, it wasn't easy, like I would say, but just a bit my strategy. Basketball is it's one of my big strategies. Like just hiding myself away from everywhere. Like if you find if you want to find me, Brad knows you want to find me. You find me at the gym every time. Find me at the gym. You find me at home or at the gym. You never see me somewhere. Or you find me in a place where there's an African people there, but you never see me anywhere else than that. That's I mean, it's still a place where I'm still trying to find my fitting. You know, still trying to see where I'm gonna fit out and everything. But I'm it's just still using basketball as a shield to cover myself from the outside world. Like, cause it's just like I don't know, like being out there just a few times and like you gotta have something to your name before you can be able to like get that feeling. You gotta be somebody first before they can be like, oh, that Nigerian kid. It's always gonna be African kid.
Thank you for speaking to that because I feel like you beautifully touched on so many issues. Starting with one is just, I feel like a lot of people think, oh, well, he was able to play basketball in the United States, what a blessing. And yes, it is. But at the same time, people don't understand the sacrifice that you have to put in, leaving your home country, not being able to call your mom as frequently as you like or connect with your family because you're in different parts of the world, different time zones. Also going from, a place where you feel is home and where your culture is normal and accepted. And, you come here and are facing constant microaggressions about your accent, your skin tone, the little comments like, did you ride camels to school? And just things of that nature that are completely inappropriate. And if anything, to me, it's just, I'm not surprised, but it's upsetting because it just goes to show that, while within the Black community, there are conversations about, the African American experience versus, the African immigrant experience. And while they are, they have, differences in contrast, it shows that essentially we are the same. Like, if you are Black and you are coming from out of, the country, you're still going to have to deal with those little comments, those things that, a lot of, African Americans are kind of used to because we're just like, oh, we just brush it off. But I'd imagine you heard about it and you knew, coming to America that you were going to experience some sort of things. But like you said, you probably didn't realize, oh, this is for real. Like, this is just like, the norm for people to not be educated on different cultures and to just spew out comments that are harmful and offensive.
Yeah, I mean it's been like that because a friend of mine too, Will, she's from Egypt. Like she also feels the same too. Like people always asking like, oh, like the same question, like where you from? Like, are you from these? Like you look like you're from Egypt. She's like, no, like I'm Egyptian. Like you can't take away my stuff. And it's been like that for like so many times, so many years. Like people that I've met here, and it was just like, wow, like this is really going on. Like, and it's not like some people are like ignorant. Some people don't know, which is why I don't really get upset like that upset because some people genuinely don't know about like, okay, where's Nigeria at? Like they were asking like, where's Nigeria at? Like I don't know. Like I'll say it's in West Africa. They're like, oh, I thought Africa just one. I'm like, no, it's kind of like brought out like in different ways. Like, and the reason why I say that because I had a friend who was from Lithuania, and she was asking me like, because with NBA Academy, you get to play basketball everywhere, and it's like you travel. And they were asking, they're like, I said, oh, I'm in the United States. In the United States, where's that? I'm like, United States. Like, yeah, but where is that at? I'm like, look up the United States. You're gonna see like people don't really know U.S. even exists. Like people don't really know like U.S. is like just like a U.S. They think like U.S. like, oh, it's the entire place. It's in general. Like I'm like, and it's like I can't really believe it because people around the world don't know places. So it's like sometimes you can't really get mad or upset because it just smells like some people don't really know, but some people do know, but they just try to make it a joke. And it hurts the most when you be your own black person doing it to you. Like, if it's kind of like if it's your other race, like I understand because it's been something that's been going down the path line. So it's kind of like okay, like it's not gonna hurt me you saying that. But if it's my own black person, it's probably like it's like the Black Americans saying that, and it's like making fun and always like or saying jokes and be like, oh, I'm sure Sam is like an African prince back home, blah blah blah. I'm like, I know I'm an African prince back home. I am an African prince back home. Like I am, but saying that and making it seem like Wakanda forever, doing all this kind of stuff, and like in the movies or so like that, like it's so upsetting to say that because I was like, I expect you to know better. Like you can make fun of something or put it in a way whereby the person you're talking about don't feel less about themselves. Like, damn, I can't protect myself because I'm the only one around. Like I can imagine if a black person, if more black people are talking about what happened out here in the United States to a black person, like they were black, no, people will just start raging up and fighting and all that kind of stuff. But you're doing it to your own fellow, to a guy who comes from African country and it's like come down here and it's like you're doing it to the same like you're doing it to them, but you can't take the same if it's being done back to you. So it's more of like then you start making it. Now if I'm going back and forth with them and everything, now they start bringing out the accent. They're like, "Oh, you can't speak. We can't hear you, but what you say?" I'm like, "You see, this is what you guys do. That's why it's more of like for me. I try to break that barrier and like making sure people understand, like regardless of everything, I'm not gonna get upset. I'm not gonna get mad, even though I want to. I'm gonna just come home and get mad at the game, play the game, and get mad. But what I like, it's something like I just hope people can understand and see like that causes total depression. And I've been through that part several times. And if I said I'm over it, I'm kind of lying. I'm still getting treatment, getting help still because it's not easy. If I every single day I have to act strong just because I need to do what I need to do. Like I can't because if I show weakness right now, I'm the only one here. I ain't got my mom is not here. My sister is not in Louisville. My aunt is not staying in Chicago. My dad is not staying in Vegas. Where I could just travel down there and go spend the night and be like, Dad, I just want to stay. No, they're all back home in Nigeria. So it's like that stuff is just one thing. Like every single day, I just have to wait till like 11 p.m. at night, 12 to talk to my mom. And I have to wake up in the morning early just cause and talk to my mom on the weekends. Like literally, I talk to my mom and I play the music because that's one thing we always do. My mom plays music every day. So just like going through and I keep telling my mom like I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So, like it's weighing on my. She always tells me, bro, like just keep pushing my son. Like you got this. Every single day she sends me words of encouragement on Instagram every single day. Every single she doesn't miss no single day at all. Every single day she sends me words of encouragement every day. Like my son this, that, my son that, my son this, my son that. Always trying to make me feel like you're not alone, but I know you're the one leading the entire family. But right now we all depend on you, so you can't break down. So looking at that, even though I'm going through my shit, I look at my family like I can't be down. I can't be down on myself because I got people back home I got to take care of. And I just hope like eventually I'm able to make a difference. To help people understand like this shit is real, and just so once they come down, they don't have to think everything is all, sunny, sunshine and rain. But no, there's storm, there's tornadoes, there's earthquake out here going out. There's landslides happening, so you gotta stay ready for it. Protect yourself, and get all the help, like all the knowledge you can get. Do all your research because it's just when it comes to everything don't hit you at once, like you're just gonna feel down on yourself. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Samuel, for being so open. First off, I want to commend you for the resilience that you've had to build while navigating living in a foreign country. I mean, I cannot fathom how difficult that was for you to go from being in Nigeria, where you're the majority and your Blackness is celebrated, and you only see people around you that are accepting and are so proud to be Black, and then to come here into have that repeated persecution because of your identity is just so unbelievable, so unfortunate. And it's a common experience for Black Americans here in Seattle specifically, where this is a predominantly white area. So I just thank you for being so open and sharing those experiences with us. And I was hoping if you would be open to describe how your relationship with your Blackness was altered once you came here to Seattle. You shared a little bit about how you received some of those microaggressions, how people's lack of education causes adverse impacts on you mentally. I mean, feeling like you were so isolated that all you really had was basketball and trying to find a bit of an African community here in Seattle. But if you would be open, how did your relationship and connection to your Blackness change?
Yeah. When I came down here, it was kind of like, I felt like, initially they was like, oh, you can come down here and everything will be all good and okay, like, thinking about it. And I was just going to come out here and be fine, play basketball, and everything's just going to be okay. And we could just like keep moving all around. But when I came down here, I realized there is a difference between being Black and being African Black. Like, being African Black, you're like, we have this stuff back home, like you being Black in America, it's 0 to 1. Look, that means you have to score by like 1 goal to tie it up. But you being born out here being African American, that means you're like 1-1, meaning you're born out here, so you still have advantage. But you being an African Black and coming out here, you're like 0 to 2 already. So you gotta work your way up the entire stuff, the entire platform and everything. So with that, I was really thinking about it because my coach sat me down on the night before I traveled to the United States and was telling me, first of you just remember, whatever you say, whatever you do, she's always going to come back and hunt you and bite you. So you have to be careful of who you hang out with, who you talk to, who you mingle with, or what you say. Most especially is just how you react to everything, because people keep receipt of everything. And coming out here and knowing the fact that, like I said, I'm African and Black, and I'm proud of being Black. I would not change this skin tone for anything else. I would not change my country for anything else, and my ancestry for anything else. I would still come back being a Yoruba guy from Nigeria. And coming out here, and I realized, like, people look at me and it's just pretty much, I feel like what they see is just someone was just here for fun. Someone was here on a refuge boat. Or someone was here by just someone opinion is here to like do some work or something like that. And I was like, damn, am I not Black? Am I that kind of a person, like people see this in me? Like, what's going on? And when I see other people that are Black Americans, and I see them, it's like they can do some certain stuff and get away with it, cool. But for me, it's like I can't do it because guess what? I'm not used to the lingo. I'm not used to it. Where things are being done out here, there's a lingo to like where Black American does the thing. It's like, since I'm not used to that, it's like, oh, he's not one of them. He doesn't understand what we're doing. Like, it's cool. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Exactly. Like, I'm not trying to fit them all, but I'm trying to be a place where I could feel comfortable. And it was just more of like I had to double down and try to at least speak, not exactly, but close to being, Black person. Like, if I'm talking to somebody and they're like, oh, where you from again? I'm like, from Lagos, Nigeria. Oh, they're like, oh yeah, we can get a little accent to you. So because I try to change the way I speak so much. I try to suppress. I got to the point, look, whereby I had to suppress being African, just so you know how bad it is. Like, it just gone. I suppress me now. I have to try to learn to speak the American Black way, kind of way, so people can think, oh, you sound like you're from Florida. You sound like you're from this person. I'm like, no, I'm not from there. Like, I'm from the other. Like, oh, really? Like, I had to literally suppress that. And it got to a point where I was talking to one of my friends from back home, and I realized how much ease I felt talking to him, how much peace it was talking to him, just being me, being black African guy, just talking like I feel just so much peace speaking my language to this person, like doing this stuff. But if I'm talking to somebody else, I'm always conscious in my conscious like don't say nothing too fast. Slow your pace down and remember the tone you're speaking with. It was always a cautious reminder if I'm talking to someone, think with my coach, like, are you doing? I'm doing good, cause are you doing like, whatever skill, like yeah, type shit, like all these kind of slangs, like all those lingos, I try to incorporate them into my own words, like, respectfully, someone says like, or respectfully, like all that, I try to include it into my own word, like, you know, obviously people say black people say curse word the most. Like I try to like every single time I try to do it because I'm like, okay, that's the kind of black thing people do out here. I'm not gonna try to put that into my always with the curse word, like so people don't feel like, oh, it's too good to be us, huh? So I'm trying, because I was trying to feel I'm trying to build myself into that community, but while doing that I was losing myself. I was losing my own blackness to the world out there just because I want to be a part of something. I was losing myself. So, like I said, I spoke to my friend one time when we started talking about that E, and I was like, I don't care no more. I really don't care no more. If you don't understand what I'm saying, cool. I could text to you if you want that, but I'm not gonna change my tone. I'm not gonna change the way I'm gonna say it. Like people are gonna understand. I mean, obviously, I have to say it the right way. I have to say it in the way whereby I'm speaking okay for you to understand back and forth to communicate with me. But I'm not gonna say it in a way whereby you feel like, oh, now you're one of us. No, I am me. So that's how I'm gonna say it. And yeah, so I was losing my blackness before, but I'm proud I was able to like get myself back and put myself back in the right track. And yeah, I'm gonna like I said, I'm not gonna be ashamed to post my songs out there, my Yoruba version songs and everything. Like people was like, what is that? Like my friends were asking me one thing, they're like, why do you post what you post? Like I said, there's a post I made. I was like, oh, I talk, they complain. I don't talk, they complain. What you want me to do? So it was more of like, like, why did you post that? I was like, and like my friends understand that because I've been speaking that to them every single time I'm around them. They're like, we get what you're saying, bro, but why you post that? I was like, because I could post it. But you see now I'm getting to incorporate them into my own world and be like, you know what? Like I've been in your words, like come into my own, like see how it is being mean, like enjoy yourself, be free. You don't have to hold everything too tight. So yeah.
Thank you so much. I really would love to, like, first of all, I just want to say that was really impactful. And I would love to touch on a point that, we talked about a little bit in our previous episode, and I would love to hear your unfiltered thoughts. Just on, I know it's like a common debate between, the African community and the African American community, just with our experiences within the diaspora. And one thing that we said in our last episode with Crystal is that for some African Americans, our experience is that we've started behind zero, just from the history here of how we've been treated with slavery, with redlining, and all the laws that keep us behind, that are coded in, well, everyone has equal opportunity, but there's been very distinct measures to make sure that we can't make it to the top. Whereas another perspective is, a lot of, African immigrants that come here for opportunity, things like sports scholarships, and kind of like come here, with that sort of like upper leg that so many of us African Americans have to work so hard to get. But one thing that I know I benefit from, which I think has, I can't help but say has attributed to my success, is my proximity to whiteness. Going to a predominantly white high school, learning so easily how to fit into these spaces, how to talk to white people, how to, kind of like, unfortunately, like shrink down my blackness in order to fit in, having to do that from such an early age. I now know and see that it was easier for me to navigate life because I knew how to do that. And so would you care to just touch on that perspective? Just further on your experience as an immigrant coming here, because I know That's a common debate, and I think you touched on it so well, just talking about things that aren't considered, like, having to adjust your speech and how you talk, and the microaggressions and people not understanding you. So I just would love to hear more about your perspective on that topic.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. So yeah, like I said, just like being able to like embrace my word, but also just like you also touched on, like you're able to navigate through the rights. That's how I feel too. Like I was able to, I'm not able to navigate through my African brothers, and also being a Black American. Like I could be able to like fit into both sides because now I know like, okay, this is what they do without it in them. So I could easily be a part of it and be immersed in it. Like, oh, like you're good, and also be a part of this. But I'm like, oh, okay, like because it's like being able to. It's like a skill. Like I mean, obviously, it's not something you're like, oh, I'm proud of doing it. It's something like you actually change to do. But also, it comes in and just like you say, it tells them like you trying to do something, so we're trying to work somewhere, and also try to like help yourself and like do other stuff. So I would say basically that is being like something I feel like most Africans will come down here, especially like you said, we come down here based on scholarships. Like it's either we have um a scholarship or it's either we have academic scholarship and everything. And we always have this one thing back in mind, like we have opportunity like it a one lifetime, like out of like billions of people back home in Africa, like trying to get like one opportunity to come down here and play sport and everything, and just one out of 10,000 is given the opportunity to like study freely out here, and it's different because it's more of like you travel. I've had friends who travel back home with so-called scholarship, and they come out here and now they're like a D2 school, a D3 school. They have to fend for themselves. They have to work on the table to like feed themselves and everything. And people always have that notion of like, oh, why you guys coming? It's like, oh, I want to travel, but you travel down and it's like you have to do so much to get your feet. But back home, you don't have to do that stuff. But now you have to put yourself lower enough to do it just because you want to keep staying here, you want to keep living here. And it's just, I was lucky enough to have a full scholarship, a full ride to school, and get like pays everything for me. Like I'd have to pay no damn, I'd have to buy anything for myself, no books, nothing. So and moreover, we have others that does the like academic scholarship thing. Like they come in like just study. That's what you see. Like most Africans will come in here and knowing the fact like, okay, basketball is giving me a lifeline to study out here. I might make the best of it to graduate with distinction. That's what you can tell. Like in the past 2 or 3 years, Nigerians have been really making names in ways in graduating in these things in computer science and doctoring. Because it's more of like it's one thing to think about you like, damn, like I need to be good at something. I need to make it as something because if I don't, there's no way I could go back home and be able to make something good of myself. Like if you come out here with a bachelor degree in doctor, masters in engineering, masters in lawyer, like that's big because if you try to go back home and do something, people are going to respect you because they're like, oh, you left and traveled and went out there and did good, got your name recognized and everything. It's the same way in sport for me. Like if I travel with sport, I gotta be good in sport because I have people looking up to me back home like, how is he doing? Like, what is he doing? Like, how's sport going for him? Like, don't want to see you in that big TV or watching like, oh yes, that's him. Like, I want to be like him. And I say, it's two different ways. Some can go in sports, some can go in academics. So, and we try to get that, get in. Like I said, like we're being beat down like so many times because we have to fight our way through it. Like we have to go through all this extra hours of like classes. Like when people are home during summertime, you're taking extra classes. You're trying to feed yourself. You're doing work outside school. You're working outside school to try to feed yourself. You're doing cleaning jobs. You're going to friends, doing some stuff, dog sitting, cat working. Just doing something to like make extra cash for yourself because you want to keep staying here. You want to provide for yourself and also provide for your family back home. So it's more of like it's not been easy, but but also a bit. Well, once you get the idea and get the way to navigate around it, it's easier. Like you could basically just like keep it going and keep it moving, and there's just stuff of like being able to work and get your tax. Like we get so much tax because it's like I'm like, damn, is it being international that bad? Like I get so much tax, like, and I see my friends out there like getting tax return stuff, and I can't even get no tax return, nothing because like I'm being taxed so much, and that's a weird way. But now we try to get an SSN, we try to get an ITN. I had no idea what an ITN is until I saw the amount of money I got taxed basically they're just on scholarship. I'm like, holy shit, holy. Like if I try to get this back, it might be something. So now we try to get like ITN, we try to get like some other stuff. I mean, obviously we can't get SSN because it's like you have to be out here, but an ITN also try to get an ITN. It's a work itself because then you have to go through so many processes and so many. If your school isn't at that level, there's nothing your school can do to help you because it's like your school isn't. So it's so much of like 50. You can be lucky and have everything paid for you, like ours, or you can be lucky to school out here, but still have to do so many stuff by yourself. So it's either way at this point.
Thank you so much for going into so much detail about not only your experience adjusting here, and I wanted to add to the points Brad had mentioned about when you shared how you were code switching within even the African community. There are so many silos within the community, and I thought you put that so well, discussing how difficult that was for you, where you felt like you had to alter a bit of your own identity and relinquish some of your Blackness, which was so unfortunate. And I'm just so glad to hear that you're now stepping into yourself and you're confident in who you are and being from Africa, and you feel that, you know, that's how you can reclaim your Blackness. And I'm also so happy to hear that you have that scholarship support to be able to be successful at the UW. And I was hoping if you would go into a little more detail, specifically about being a student athlete at a predominantly white institution where just 5% of the student population is Black at the UW. And if you could describe how you've navigated your identity and cultivated community. I know you've shared quite a bit about that, how you found that community through basketball, and in other areas and connections that you've made. But is there anything specifically that's helped you find that place where you feel like you belong, whether that's like student clubs or just other areas within the community that you've been able to find a second home?
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, just be myself. Like literally when I started being myself, I started creating a community out there that I didn't know I had.
Tune in next week to hear part 2 of this episode. Thank you so much for listening to Identity Unboxed.
We are so grateful for your support, and thank you for listening to Identity Unboxed.
Authenticity is your guide to cast an impact on the world that you will be proud of. Signing off with pride, Tiana
and Brad.
Thank you so much.